So in 2014, Sarkodie released a song, Inflation. Well, that song was a monster hit. Not because of the lyrics, well, it played a part, but people could actually relate to the song because at the time, people were actually suffering. The nation is full of surprises. Basically, we still live in crisis, countermand to Koshe prices. I'm sure you remember those lyrics. Eh? Well, today we can actually relate to the song, and that's because the nation is actually full of surprises. Now, crisis need the it's not easy. In the midst of all these, there are calls for the resignation or dismissal of the Minister of Finance, Ofori Atta. Today, we are looking at how the whole crisis, the economic situation, is affecting the creatives in this episode of eForum on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantipa. Thanks for joining us on eForum on GhanaWeb TV. We are seated for a perusal of issues relating to the arts and entertainment, of course, with a touch of wit. Joining me on this episode, Abdul Karim Ibrahim. It's been a long time I saw Karim. He's a broadcast journalist with Class Media Group. Karim, thanks for joining us.
Grateful.
And like I always say, me and Karim, we go way back.
Yes.
Those days, University of Ghana. Boy, we were G Awards because he's a good debater. And he has traveled all over the world. And him fan uncle.
Oh, I was saying him fan uncle. So why is that you said?
Oh, okay, he no uncle.
Oh, baby can crab.
Yes, Sally. All right. Bulldog is an artist manager. In fact, so which one is it? Bullgod or Bulldog? Which one should we stick to now?
We should stick to Bullgod.
Bullgod.
I understand the struggle, you know, because the transition is a little bit, you know, but just flip the dog to God, you know, and it takes a while. But I'm not offended when you still call me Bullgod. I mean, it's the same purpose.
Okay. Bullgod is an artist manager, CEO of Bull House Entertainment, the one who is actually handling Vanilla. Bull, thanks for joining us.
Yes, but I'm not the CEO of the company.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm the founder and the creative director.
Okay.
There's a CEO.
Who is the CEO anyway? Because actually, we have always referred to you as the CEO.
No, it's God.
Okay. Oh, God is the CEO.
Yes.
Yeah, so Stella Jejom, broadcast, I beg your pardon, entertainment. Stella Jejom is with the business desk, GhanaWeb. Stella, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And she did a very fantastic story on how prices of goods and services have increased from January till now. Hey, Charlie, it's not easy.
It's not been an easy one.
When I saw the price of rice, so
this
rice was what,
50
50 something?
Yes.
The 5K.
Yes, it was
and
around
now
50 cedis last year, even the beginning of this year. But right now you are getting one for about 115, 120. That's more than 100% increase.
Yeah, that's serious. That's very serious, and that shows how, you know, that shows the seriousness of the whole issue. General Ntatie. General Ntatie.
Bro.
Some more fans because General is everything. Why should I make us say, you know, you just tell me, hey, trust. So General is an actor. General is a
economist.
They be trained now MPP campaigners.
Become
hey, it's the Omen you General.
Yeah, we can't be brave. And you're fair. I did your fair. I said, and I think we have to get to the point where we should be able to support something and still criticize when it's not going well. The era where people wake up and say that I'm with this particular person, whether it's going bad or good, they still want to stick to that particular side. I think we have to, you know, do something about it. And that's where we want to get to, where you support something and the thing is not going well, and you say the truth that it's not going well, it's bad. Let's get things right.
Do you regret supporting NPP?
I don't regret supporting them. I feel that it was something that I saw that I felt it was going to be good. Of course, we are not God to see what will happen, and definitely you support something, but you are not the one in charge of administration. But probably what you think that if you are there, you do. You give the mandate to someone to go and do, and then they get there and things are not going as it should. So you have the right to say it. Don't be gagged and say that, Charlie, I have done this to it happens when people go for money and they are gagged, so you can't talk. But when you do it genuinely from your heart and you know that, Charlie, people will say a lot of things outside. Oh, Jeneral Ntatie, just come on to. But if you know in your heart that you've not gone for any money, you are always bold to say the truth.
Are you being attacked in any way, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical?
So the funny part of the whole thing is, when it started, you get people from the opposition attacking you, and then you say the truth, and those within the party also come at you. So now you're in the middle, whether to go left or right. It's your own cup of tea.
Into baby.
Maybe, but not. Like I said, I have voted for NDC before. When the late president Jonathan was in power, I voted for him, but I didn't campaign for him. But I voted because I loved him. I felt some of his policies were on point. So there was an election where I didn't vote, but then I was in Germany, so I didn't. And when I came back, I listened to manifesto. I felt that if people are going to go to school, why not? People are, there's no, parents are not having money to send their wards to school. So if there's going to be free SHS and a lot of people are going to go to school, I'm imagining how in the next 10, 15 years, a lot of youth have been to school, how the country will become. So I thought it was a good thing for him to finish his term, so that after his term we assess, and then if a new person brings a very good policy or manifesto, we support the person as well. So it's not like we go and sell our conscience to a particular political party where I say that I'm with this party, so whether A or B, I'm with them. No, I don't do that. I listen to manifesto. Tomorrow I can change my mind and join another political party if I feel like. Yeah.
You are an actor. In fact, you have a production this weekend.
Yeah.
How has this whole economic crisis affected you as a creative artist?
People are not buying the tickets. And I bought Canada. You see, I Tati. It's sad. It's sad. Some time back, you do a little publicity and you get people jumping on, ready to come and watch a show. And now it's just that people are favorite. Like those who love us, who have followed us all these years, are like, oh, Charlie, these guys, let's go and just release some stress. So they still come to watch the show. So we are just praying to God that they will still consider and come. Yeah.
Interestingly, you see, I am a student of politics. I read political science from the University of Ghana, and I did government, SHS.
When you have a song in Legon for a political campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Vote for me. But I don't think, if I cast my memory back, I don't think there has been a situation where MPs of a political party is calling for the head of the finance minister, who is a member of their party, and because they don't like the way the country is going. In fact, the suffering or the economic crisis is affecting almost everybody. I am affected. Yeah. In fact, this morning I was telling my colleagues that the amount that I bought fuel last week, that I had a full tank. This week I bought it, and it's left to 2 bars before it will get to the brim. Yeah. So actually I am affected. You heard Stella mention the bag of rice, which has actually increased 10%. Over 100%. Really, does it actually surprise you that in the midst of all these, the NPP, the MPs are calling for the head of Ofori Atta?
Well, it is very surprising. And I say so because of the nature of our own political governance space. It is one of unquestioned loyalty. And oftentimes, if you decided to depart from what the party line is, you usually end up getting into trouble. And it's also such that our politics generally is not one based on principle or serious conviction. So if you decided to do something against the general view, we often do not look at the quality of the decision that you took and then say that, well, this makes sense. There are only a few cases where you see people from a political party that is governing where they are still able to put across dissenting views. But there's a caveat with that. Oftentimes, those people who are able to do that, they do so because they have some clout, some money, some wealth that removes them from the backlash. So Kennedy Japan would be a very good example. It is not new that we would have somebody from the party say things, go against the order. But you would notice that he is able to do so because he seems quite clear that he's not dependent on anybody. So this was a big surprise. But when you interrogate it a bit further within the proper political sense, there's a way that you understand it, because it it doesn't happen very often, and the creatives are here, that you go for a program or an event like what we saw at the Independence Square, and the President of the Republic is booed in such very organic manner. They can dispute that and say other people paid people to go and do that and all of that, but they know that's not true. You go to Kumasi, of all places, where the president again is booed. And generally, when you get the sentiments, GhanaWeb does an amazing job with that. Listen to people, you get a sense that people are angry. And you can tell clearly from the Member of Parliament for Subin yesterday, after the press conference, when he was doing more media engagements, he was asked a question that, don't you feel, like the point I was making earlier, that there will be a backlash against you? Parliamentary primaries are coming up and all of that. He said something very profound. He said that, well, it is true, but if you look at what our constituents are saying, and that's the reality, because for the constituents, it doesn't matter. I mean, General said he supported and voted for the current government. Yeah. But now his business is also struggling. So when you look at it, it doesn't matter where one voted. At the end of the day, if you go to the market and the rice is expensive, you're going to buy it. You're not going to use your party card to get it very easy. And for me, that is the kind of reality that the members of parliament are trying to avoid. And also, there's one final pragmatic point. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is obviously leaving at the end of the term. So that means that the party would have to take a decision to go with someone else. It could be Dr. Baumia, it could be Alan Cash, it could be from any other place. So if you are within the party now, it actually makes a great deal of sense, and you have the dynamics on your side when the people support you against a man who is leaving eventually.
Nana's poster has come under questioning. There are some who say that it looks like Wadru self-actualization. I wanted to be president, so Matwama maybe, and it's the reason he made that comment in Kumasi that, I mean, if you are threatening to vote for me, they don't threaten me, they don't frighten me and all that. Does it come to you? Does it come to any of you? Or like the president seems unbothered, even though he has made comments that he is fixing the economy?
I mean, for me, it's not surprising. The president has always been arrogant. He just pretended not to be one when he was vying for votes. And you can never be anything but arrogant. You see, the MPs that are calling for the head of...
Ofori Atta.
I mean...
80 MPs.
Yes, that's the wrong target. The president should resign today. Nana Akufo-Addo should bow down his head in shame and walk out of the office now as we speak. He came saying he had the men. He put the guy there. You understand? So if the guy is messing up, they should be living together. He should be living now. I keep saying this all the time. Look, let me try and get this and get it right so I don't make a mistake. Look, this is what I've been reading for a while now. Chapter 8 of the Constitution of Ghana, Section 69. You know what that says? Removal of the president. Everybody should read that. I don't know why we are not exploring this. There's a loophole in the Constitution that can get us to remove him today. We don't have to wait 2024.
I think the minority is doing that.
They should do that.
No, the minority is targeting the finance minister and not the president.
They have to target the president.
Okay.
He is the head. They have to target him. If you read, it is clear. I mean, it's woven with a few legal words. But if we have a proper lawyer to interpret it, we will find a solution. If we start today, by next year around this time, he's gone. It won't take that long. And we are all seated and, just complaining. Do you know that today, as we speak, you are being paid half your salary? Because everything is going up. That's what you say. They say less than half. Nothing makes sense. You understand? So, for me, the president, back to answer your question, the president has always been arrogant. We failed to see it. Me, I didn't vote for him. I will never vote for him. Because I saw right through him. You understand? And today, when you speak, they'll bring BNI or NIB, I don't know if they are now a bank, after you. You understand?
Yeah.
People are genuinely suffering. Go on the streets. It's just by grace that we are all here. I'm telling you. Some of us ply our trade on the streets. So we know the suffering. We know the talkability that is going around. I'm telling you. So they should not be there. And I just saw another, I don't know if it was on your site, that the president said we should give the finance minister 3 months.
Yeah. Is it 3 months or weeks? 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
For the
sorry.
IMF program.
Yeah,
That's
for
nonsensical.
the early part of the conversation too.
That's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. How? Boss, how? I don't understand. Is he the only one who can negotiate this deal? What if he dies tomorrow? The deal will not go on? Are we running a one-man financial institution or ministry? What are we talking about? Because of Chobo, they don't want to go. No, let's be honest. Me, I don't want to be diplomatic about anything. Because somebody will take something or get something, why should it be him? Well, I don't understand. Let's look at this from that angle. It's very common. It's simple. It's basic. All that talk, all that, it doesn't make any sense. Why should that person be there? If everybody is calling that he should leave, I want the president to leave.
So, how did we get here? Maybe I should let Stella answer.
Oh, sorry. Let me just answer it. You
Go
said it's a
ahead.
forum.
Yeah.
Maybe people no go. So how did we get here?
Yes.
We were pretending, all of us, smiling. Oh, it go be. Oh, it go be. That's how we got here. Look, I have said, and I'm saying it here again, especially Parliament. Look, that institution should be abolished. Trust me. Go and check what the duties of Parliament. We need to read some more.
Why would you want Parliament to be abolished? They are representing their constituents. They are making laws.
But in that case, in favor of what? You know, there can't be a vacuum. I think that's where the problem
exactly.
is.
That's
You see, so I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
I'm pushing for an agenda. I'm sure if we sat through it, we'll find a solution. Now, if you say, so Parliament is a House of Representatives, right? They represent their constituents, right? Do you know that there's a constituency, as we speak now, that doesn't have representation in Parliament? Do you know that?
South.
Yeah. Thank you. Are they not functioning?
They are.
Good. So it is a testimony to tell you that that institution has nothing to do, because the work, the mandate, they are not sticking to their mandate. So if there's a constituency running without a representative, all other constituents can run without it. Truly and truly, it is the DCEs or MCEs or whatever you want to call them who are supposed to be doing the work, right? So Parliament is just a conduit. Parliament is supposed to check the executive, make sure, you know, and what are they doing? This is, I mean, my life, like you just said earlier, we see people on the other side of the aisle pushing for their own person to go. And you made so much sense when you said, and look at how this is. Because the sitting president is leaving.
Yeah.
That's why they'll do that. You thought if it was the first time, they'll try it. All their contracts, all their stuff will be seized. They won't get anything. We need to look at some of these things. We cannot run the way we are running. Look, all these institutions, look at the constitution that we have. We should even look at the constitution again. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why a certain president, after their term of office, for 3 years, no lawsuit can come against them. For what? Are they still ruling after who wrote these things? And if we don't question some of these things now, posterity will suffer. Look, entertainers, and especially your side, and look, you are the one who bring relief to this country. And that's why we're still here. Look, do a basic case research, all the African countries that had the civil strife, their entertainment space wasn't booming. When people like General and musicians and everybody stop, Charlie, do you know what is going to happen here? And gradually we're getting there, because, I mean, who are you going to even ask? How are you going to pay for a venue get artists there to go and perform. He's just saying they're not buying tickets. So soon we'll all fold our arms and sit and see what was going to happen. Charlie, we need to be serious, and we're young. I don't know what we are saving ourselves for. None of us is making it out here alive. We'll still die. So if we're going to die for Mother Ghana, at least it's better than waiting to win. We're not going to make it out alive. We need to fight. People died for us to be there. Santos and then Nkommo and everybody. They'll be disappointed in us. The president needs to go now, not the finance minister. The president. Now, this afternoon.
Stella, you've been you've been engaging the people. What have they been saying about the cost of products? Are they also calling for the head of the president?
Well, before I even go there, you asked the question about how we got here. So we can go about all the big English, talk about fiscal indiscipline, macroeconomic indicators, what's not. The simple answer is that the economy has been badly managed. Bad management is what has brought us here, because our problems are very fundamental. When you look at the problems that Ghana has, they are very fundamental. Like, they are at the first level of the
problem chain.
Exactly. Food, clothing, shelter, electricity, access to basic, they are very basic problems. So why can't we solve them? I mean, I spoke to some economists just yesterday, and he was telling me that the problem is simple. Government does not listen. The people up there do not listen. Because how can you tell me that this is an economy with economists, with professionals, with academicians, with people who have learned, people have, and even the finance minister himself has gone to Yale, the Baumia, Ivy League. So what are you telling me?
This administration.
Did you just acquire knowledge to just sit on it, or just for the show of it? What are you doing about it? You are just there. And people are given solutions every time. They told you from the beginning of this year, even last year, November, when the budget was read, it was said that this thing you are telling us to do, it will fail. And then you were very hopeful. We that were going to pay the tax are telling you that this thing, you are saying, oh, based on the data.
Is it the e-levy you are talking about?
Exactly. And that tax has been, the target has been revised from billions to 611 million. And even that one, we are just making about half of it at this point. When we projected that we'll be getting about 1 billion Ghana cedis from that tax measure. And it's not working, and it's still there. People are even being wrongfully charged. Even upon all the wrongful deductions, they are still not meeting the target. So why are you burdening me, and you are not even using the monies for things that were supposed to, the monies were supposed to be used for? And they pushed for some of these agendas just for us to be able to get more leverage on the international market. And we started the year and we've been downgraded. They are telling us that these people, if you give them money, they're not going to be able to pay. So from January, you saw downgrades. You knew that it would be hard for you to be able to access Euro bonds. People will not give you money. And still, you were still very insistent on the fact that, no, we are not going to IMF. When you know that that is where you go, and you waited over 6 months before you...
know, if I could just add something to what this particular point that Stella is making. So it's, and again, just to also make it very easy, it is very simple. You are a brantepa, and you need to survive. You have a business that you are doing, so you are working at GhanaWeb, it's giving you some money. But the kind of life that you are living, the kind of people that you are taking care of and all of that requires that you need more money. So there are many options. Maybe you could create more content and get Bulldog or General to provide, create platform. They will create content, you get more money. But that's a more difficult thing to do because you are now going to do advertisement, and you are going to think and do. But the way it is, Abantua is popular. You are on TV, everybody knows you. So you can get loans. So maybe you call Bulldog and you get some 10,000 Ghana cedis, you call Stella, they'll give you 1 million Ghana cedis, General 2 million Ghana cedis, and you're going. It gets to a point where you simply cannot pay because you're not doing enough to generate revenue so that you are able to pay your loan. What that does to you also is that because you have a higher risk of paying your loan, the cost of your loan gets higher also. So if the next person has seen that Bulldog has given you money, Stella has given you money, General has given you money,
and you've not been able to
you've
pay
not been
back,
able to pay,
it means that I'm not giving you money.
Or that there's nothing that suggests that in the next 5, 10 years, based on how you are going, you're going to be able to pay a lot more, but then you would take more money. You just simply go about borrowing more money. Because this government, what they have done over this period is to borrow far more than any other government has borrowed in this country's history. And it means something. If for instance, the results indicated that we have also seen an overwhelming level of development that pales, or I mean, if you compare to the others pale in comparison to it, then maybe, because you can see quite clearly that even though people have a lot of problems, when they're talking about free senior high school policy, there's a way that they go about it. They never really say, for instance, that we don't want it again. All they say is that maybe there are problems, fix them and all of that. So when people see the results, they like it. But the problem with our politics is that, and as Bulldog made a point, we're very, very intransigent. We don't listen to people. We're very arrogant. And so oftentimes, because that's what I see. I work on radio. I do a morning show every single day. We engage people. The sense that I get is that, and even on social media, people are angry, not necessarily because this government has somehow failed in a way that they have never seen before or imagined before, but it is also about everything around it. Okay? And the very vindictive attitude that comes with it. And you see, sometimes when people read some of these, the thing about arrest, intimidation, and all of that, it is difficult in many instances to say that I know for a fact that Bulldog's arrest was occasioned by President Akufo-Addo. He called someone to come and pick him. It's always difficult to prove that, Captain Smart and the rest. But at the end of the day, people see it. So when what you promise doesn't come, and then you go again, don't accept it, but everything is on Ukraine, on Russia, it's on COVID. Then you ask yourself, okay, what about Kenya? What about Togo? What about Nigeria?
What about those who are fighting the war themselves?
Exactly.
Ukraine.
Yeah, what about them?
Exactly. And you see, again, so we depend a lot on Ukraine, Russia for cereals.
Why should we?
Exactly. Why?
Why should we? I'm saying it doesn't make sense. You don't look inside yourself and help yourself. You look, we can't go back, because when we go back, it will be too long. We're here now. What do we do? Look, there's a lot of talent in this country that if we focus on, we'll get ourselves out of this situation.
Right.
I foresaw something.
Okay.
I knew we were going to get here. Do you know when I realized that we were going to get here?
When was that?
When the youth were calling for fix the country.
Okay.
And they came at them and said, go and fix yourself. And I was like, that's it. We are going to mess up. Because I came out and I wrote an article. I said that when a child is crying home, you don't beat the child. You give the child toffee, chocolate. Let the child smile and tell the child that next time, don't go and play in this house. When you go, they will hurt you. So the child is now careful. Why are we in a country where the youth that are in the country feel that something must be fixed? You are the father of the nation. Make yourself available. Tell them, oh, let's fix the country together. Allow them to do their demonstration. Meet them up. I am your father. I will listen to you. We are trying our best to get things running. Just give us some time. We'll get things done. But when you fight the people, you go and fix yourself. Go and do that. And then after everything, they take you to court, they win, and they still do the demonstration. And then after the demonstration, people now ask, after the demonstration, is the government dead? Like, have they been able to destroy your party? No. So why don't you make time from the beginning? Let the people feel belong. Let them feel that, Charlie, they are loved. Despite the economic hardship and everything, you are there for them. Let them feel that, Charlie, we have a president who is always ready. We have people who, Charlie, I always say that we will always go around and come back again.
Okay.
Because I have identified something, but we'll talk more about it.
But yes, so listen, we are not going around, we are going for a break. Well, we want to look at the role of people in the arts. How best can we get the government to sit down and actually work and make the system better. Last time, Prince David was saying that he was giving the government up to December or so, and that he was going to mobilize the youth for a demonstration. I don't know how far that has gone, but we actually have a conversation on that, the role of the people in the creatives in making the economy better, to get a government set up, because the way things are going there, me now cry, my head, they bust me. We are back after this short break. Welcome back, and the argument continues. In fact, sometimes so who behind the scenes in Kakra, because it's very interesting. You know, the Miko shows are mostly I want to be backstage and see how things are being run before I come back to sit in the audience. And sometimes I move out from the auditorium if it's being held in an enclosed area, just walk around and hear some conversation. Sometimes it be a very, very interesting. You don't get to hear and see them when you are seated at the VIP area. So welcome back. And Romeo joins us. McDonald Naneo Asari, aka Romeo, is Medina Social Welfare Assemblyman. But first of all, he's an event organizer. He's a talent manager. He's the one that coaches the Miss Ghana contestants on how to speak. Romeo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, substitution into Stella Riena Juma Oko. Romeo is back. But if you began the show with us, you notice that we have been here with Jeneral Ntatie. Jeneral Ntatie is an actor, and their play is coming off this weekend. Are We Safe? And I don't know why they decided to choose Are We Safe at General. Why?
Oh, so Are We Safe is not political. It's something that we want to, ask some beautiful questions to the audience that will come. Are we safe if, right policies are not put up? Are we safe if the right thing is there and we are not doing? Are we safe as citizens when we know that we imported goods at the time that the dollar and Cedi kind of thing is not happening, and then we want to hoard the goods and sell it at expensive prices for ourselves? Are we safe as citizens when we know that we are not supposed to litter around and we go do that? Are we safe as people? So we are asking questions. Then we need to come and answer ourselves.
So what time, when, and how many shows are we having?
Okay, so we are doing 2 shows. Okay. A very beautiful show this Saturday, 4 p.m. and then 8 p.m. 4 p.m. first show, 8 p.m. second show. And the rates are cool, 100 cedis per. Just come and laugh.
So it's Jeneral Ntatie and who are those in the production?
Jeneral Ntatie is there, Clemento Suarez is there, Foster Romanos is there, you have Willie Chambers, a host of beautiful actors and actresses. And when you hear these names, you know that definitely you are in for a good laugh. So
because more is serious.
Super
fan production.
But strange though, I'm meeting General for the first time, and he's not stammering. I'm disappointed.
General, honest,
I'm disappointed.
I get that
when he gets into the character. That's when he begins to do all those. General,
he's a good actor. And I think the list, muji $10. I think $10 they say so.
$10 they say $10 is
150.
So what?
I think it's 16 this morning.
Yeah, it's 16. It's gone up to 16.
Oh wow.
There was a day it went up. The whole day went up like three or so. So in the morning there was an exchange. In the afternoon, then in the evening too there was.
So it comes back to your question you asked the young lady,
Stella.
How did we get here? So are we going to sit here for the dollar to get to 80 cedis? Well, I'm asking. We are 16. So who is going? Who will sit down like that?
What should we do? No, beyond.
I don't have the solutions. I don't have it. I'm just one man. I'm saying that, look, everybody else is pretending this morning or wherever you are in Ghana now, that something is happening. People are going to work to go and sit down. People will not come and buy. Jeneral Ntatie is pretending he's doing a show. The people are pretending not to come and buy, like everything. Why? Why don't we stop everything? Shut the country down.
By that, it means what?
All of us will stop doing what we need to do. Let's do that.
Then we'll just be sitting.
Yes, let's do that for a week. Let's try that. Isn't that a solution?
That would be serious.
Yes.
So they see the relevance.
Yeah, it's better than carrying guns and knives. Let's seize everything. You go. Look, Doctors do it. They do it occasionally. Nurses do it. Don't they do it occasionally? I'm saying the whole country should do it at once. See what is going to happen. Yo, I mean...
Romeo, you were supporting Bulldog's submission. You said yes. You think that's the way to go?
Yeah,
because
I think
if you look at there was a day drivers were on strike.
Yeah, they were even engaging in some football games.
Yes, and even if you are a private,
halted the whole economy.
car and you get to the station and decide to pick people, they will fight you. And we saw them play football and all of that. And now Bulldog is saying we should do 1 week. Everybody,
yes,
including the media.
Our leadership or our leaders in this country or Africa in general, we lack that integrity commitment. Where even elsewhere in Europe, when someone is even associated to just some slight scandal, they tend to resign just to prove a point that they're not holding on to their position because of the power they wield, but just to make way for fairness and whatever accountability or in terms of investigation there are to be. But here, once there's a scandal, that's where another scandal will be created to divert attention. And then we've seen this government roll from one scandal to the other. From PDS, you name it, excavators here and there. And when it gets to the president desk, it's as if, they've been cleared. It's put aside, and the real issues are left to go. And bit by bit, we started losing our pesos and cedis, and this has escalated to that level, coupled with borrowing and so on and so forth. Now, so action, you back it with actions. So now, if the nurses, the drivers, everyone is suffering in the sense that, if you're paid 1,005 Ghana cedis as a monthly salary, now, just look at the level of food inflation. Over 137%. Another mechanism. So, considering food, considering rent, medical bills, and then it has this trickling ripple effect where very soon people will be laid off. Just like the COVID era when people had to make way for others because people, industries were not making profit. So they had to lay off people, or they had to cut down staff size and whatsoever you. And this is so glaring to the extent that, Abrantipa, we've been expressing this, but some people were not feeling it earlier. But because they had hoarded some stolen money and they were enjoying it, just quote unquote, now that things have doubled or tripled or quadrupled, they're also feeling what we were feeling before. So everyone is talking. But this is what we were talking about long ago and no one was minding. Now, if not for this IMF negotiation thing and all these dollar issues, no one would be calling for the finance minister's head. But I tell you that there's sort of some level of hypocrisy in this country. And it's high time we start dealing with this before this old generation ends for the new one to take off. Reasons being that in the old days of President Mahama, we always called him out when there was doomsday. He wasn't the energy minister. He wasn't the director of ECG. And anytime the lights were out, we blamed him. Yes, we didn't know it was a generational issue. We didn't know it was sort of government after government powered up a problem that he inherited. No one cared, but he had to solve it. Right? But today, when we are talking of economy, when a certain Vice President Baumia, then candidate, running mate, was accusing the then president of incompetence, and that when he was mentioning the dollar as a means of measure of the president's level of incompetence, today, here we are. We are not mentioning Baumia, we are not mentioning the president. We are rather mentioning an appointee we didn't vote for.
That was the point Bulldog was making.
We didn't vote for the appointee. We voted for the president. And if anything rots, it starts from the head. So if you're calling the head for the head of the finance minister, you should be calling for the head of the president. He should resign. People have resigned. Liz Truss recently resigned because, come on, when I wasn't in the office, I thought, okay, I could do this. But coming in, I realized that no, it's beyond me. I don't have solution. That's how the West think. If you don't have, no man is a sort of a fountain of knowledge. So when they feel they're struggling, they can't solve a problem. They make way for others to take charge. What is Akufo-Addo waiting for? He should resign. It's not just about the finance minister. It's about the presidency. He is the chief appointer. if you appoint people and they fail, the blame dawns on you. When the economy was doing well in 2017 and the dollar was stabilized, the vice president came to take the credit and then listed the economic management team, Professor Jamba for Osakoto, Osefriye, just name Alanche Manting, Osafo Mafo. And now things are not going well. You're not mentioning the economic management team.
When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Ofori Atta, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team.
So a few things that are very, very essential in our daily life. So a gallon of oil, it's now between 1,000 and 1,002. But first, in the early part of the year, was 550 Ghana cedis. And a bag of rice, as Stella mentioned earlier, was 56 in the beginning of the year. Now it's 112 cedis. Yeah. Fuel in the beginning of the year was around 4 cedis, 86 pesos for
per
petrol.
liter.
Yes, liter. And then diesel per liter was 4 cedis, 86 pesos. October 2022 is 13 cedis,
Per liter.
10 pesos per liter for fuel, and 15 cedis, 59 pesos per liter for diesel. And cement, as in 2022, January was 44 Ghana cedis, but now it's 80 cedis and above. So when we're about going for the break, I was asking what creatives, what we can do. Prince David was mentioned demonstration. Bulldog has mentioned that we should stop everything that we are doing for like a week. Everybody should stop. Really, what's the way to go, guys?
I would like to take this bite first because I just joined. Being a creative arts person, nurtured and taught within the School of Performing Arts confines, creatives are able to communicate the most dangerous or tread even on the most dangerous path through their acts by putting together pieces that would push government to do the right thing. I remember a play directed by one Professor Sarah Dogbaji, Marching for Fauza. That play was meant that it actually highlighted the bad things within society where the government was failing in, and that play was actually banned at a point. Now, as creatives, if we are not able to come out to demonstrate, let's put our skits. We saw in the Kumawood moment when people were talking about Doomsaw, they made it a point that most of the movies, they talk about Doomsaw in it. And it pricked the government. At the end of the day, we had results. If we are creatives, we owe it to the citizens that we put out stuff. Ours is to put the governments on its toes through our acts. You get it? So we have that responsibility. When we fail, the rippling effect is such that we are collapsing our own industry. Within this Xmas, Afrochella, just name them. Most of them are charging in dollars. Even if they are charging $100, it means you will need about 1,005 Ghana cedis for a show. If you're putting together a show with all these investments, with all these technicians, you're supposed to pay them, and people are unable to pay. Right? It means you don't have money to even pay the people. So you have to lay people off, or you have to even halt your production. Major General Ntatie just mentioned his coming show this weekend, right? 100 cedis. Abrantipa, it will interest you to know that this 100 cedis will be difficult for a lot of people to even come by. Though 100 cedis now appears like a 10 cedi in 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You get it? It shouldn't have been a problem. So no matter where you are, you feel it. And we the creatives are the ones, when we sell our ideas, we mold, we sell. Now when we mold and we are not selling and we are selling and people are not buying the Chief Moments, the Jeneral Ntatie, the Suarez's and a whole lot, they fall on this to feed.
You know the annoying bit? People sit back and say, why are you making this personal? But what should we make it? This is personal. It's affecting all of us.
Everybody.
Yes, it's affecting all of us. And when you mention Nanado's name, they say, why are you mentioning his name? Is he not in the office?
We are paying him.
He sat on, the guy is so arrogant. In capital letters, he says we speak as if He doesn't live in this country.
Yeah.
Hey!
As if he's governing us.
Master, you dey pay light bill. You dey pay for fuel. Don't come to talk the thing they talk. Don't come talk the thing they talk. Make we be kiddies, make we respect you. Talk, make we respect you. Do you pay for anything in this country? You and your parliamentary, your government, you dey pay something?
You get one full V8 where they carry chairs.
You dey pay something?
One full V8.
You dey pay something? You know, we dey pay.
But there's one thing that I want to add to this. You see, so I remember there was some time when the president's travels, expensive travels, came up, when the Honorable Okujeto made it a personal mission to be always giving us information and all of that. I remember we're discussing this on radio, and to be fair, generally, the kind of reception that I get on radio, a lot of people are very critical of the government. But there was still an element of second guessing. So I was making the point that the president should not be living in that kind of luxury. Someone sent in a text message and asked that, but he's the president, what do you expect him to do? You see, that kind of thinking, because it should not make any sense whatsoever. And I'm happy that somehow we seem to be coming around it. It should make absolutely no sense. It should not be acceptable that for a country that is at this level, developing very poor, people don't have access to potable water. Not that there's any place in this world where there's no problem. But the point is that, at least, if not for anything at all, the leadership must reflect the country. You don't have a habit or a culture of flying luxuriously, living like an emperor, and then go about borrowing money.
My boss, I want to ask a question. May I have said we should sell Ghana? This is the reason why I say that. Look, if we are going to the white man to ask them for money, to come and develop our country, and we know they see the development of, then let's go and ask the white man to come and take over, because they will know what to do. So instead of going to IMF and say, give us 800 million or 2 billion, 3 billion,
come and rule.
That's it. Nana-Addo should not be president. I'm giving him an advice. It should be like, a white man should be president, they go for send them. Because that's really what he's doing. He's not doing anything. Look, if it was for borrowing, borrowing and paying salaries, like you just...
that one, they be there.
My daughter is 3. My last daughter is 3. She can rule this country.
Just like as Osla also said. Is there if it's your old time, you run the country, if it's just for borrowing.
And one thing that we forget is that, and again, for country, for states, it is the backing of the people, the institutions, and all of that. Donald Trump is literally a brainless human being. Buhari is a walking dead. Nigeria is likely going to have the next president who is far worse than Buhari in Tinubu. But the point is that all of those countries will still run somehow, because it's not really about the individual. And for me, it is all those supporting things. And when the extent to which we entertain some things, right? And again, sometimes we are also very scared. So if you hit the streets, what happens? And all of those things. All of those things create this culture of silence that allows for people to do what they want. Let me just talk briefly about entertainers. And I'm happy that General Ntatie is here. Bulldog is, or Bullgod, yes, is also here. I get a sense also that our entertainment space, our creative people, they are perhaps the least critical of Ghanaians that one can ever imagine. And I say so because the general sentiment that one gets is that these are very, very individualistic people. So it's about their personal talent and what they can get out of that. Everything that looks like risk is not something that they are willing to participate in. And I get it. They are not any special from any other person. So I'm not placing any special responsibility on creators or creatives any more than I would put on, say, a market woman. But the point is this. Creatives, by the very nature of the work that they do, they are influencers, whether they like it or not. And again, the space that they operate in, just like journalists. When we say journalists have freedom of expression, when we say that press freedom should not be touched, it is not because these are very special human beings. It is because, by the very nature of the work that they do, anything that would get them to always reconsider, means that the very quality of the work that they are doing is gone. So for creatives, they are creatives only to the extent that there's no boundaries. I'm not talking about breaking laws. And so if everything is about, hey, Ghana, the MPP and NDC say, if I can be sincere and Akufo-Addo matema, then I mean, or
as
yes,
because they
good.
will come attacking me.
Or when it gets to periods where we need to influence and do something, and all you care about is your own check, because for you it is, I'm doing my job. I get it. I mean, nobody can come and beat you if you go and take whatever and do whatever. But at the end of the day, we'll see the kind of response that we are seeing now. And this is not to say, for instance, that those who supported the NPP in the last election have done something wrong per se. I mean, people could genuinely believe that this was right. So I don't support anyone who says that because someone supported this particular government, somehow they should yeah, no, I don't support that. But I'm saying that creatives must lead the way. They must live up to what creatives are.
Exactly. And they should also be able to shape that kind of sentiment out of people, so that they are always not on autopilot.
Exactly.
To know that people should be.
But they themselves must first move away from the autopilot.
That's exactly my point. So you're not on
I
autopilot.
have said we should march to the Jubilee House. When you speak, you are among creatives and industry people. They are like, oh, you need a letter from the. You don't need nothing. The police should be arresting those who are in office committing crime. They should be behind bars. We have a court system, that nobody's taking anybody there to go and answer why we are in this mess. We don't need permission from the police. They themselves, they are suffering. They should join us.
Right. It's time to join Doreen for Vogue. And like I have always been mentioning, if you have any events that you are hosting, just let us know. We'll come your way. We'll bring our cameras there, cover the event, and let our people, our viewers and our readers know what actually happened at your event. And so Abiana had an event. Doreen was there, and she has everything packaged in Vogue.
We are currently here at Abiana Live's performance happening at the Zen Garden. My name is Doreen Abanamabaya, and exclusively we have so many people who tuned in, you wouldn't believe we're gonna come. We have Gifty Auntie, KOD, Captain Smart, and so many other names we will be getting an interview from. But then you need to stay tuned and watch.
So good, so nice. I think it should be done every other weekend.
Because I saw you dancing, you couldn't even sit.
You see, you wake up every early part of the morning, every day, and you need to go somewhere to throw away that stress. You get it?
I'm very excited. I'm very happy I came. I came to support Abiana, and she's been marvelous.
And she dedicated Ghana's Most Beautiful to you.
I know, right? That was a shocker. You know? She didn't expect me to come because I've not been well for a while now. So she didn't expect me. So I guess she was very excited to see me.
I guess it wasn't just we're all excited to see you. But then how is life? How is everything going?
Well, one day at a time. We know things are tough, but hey, we take it one day at a time.
And motherhood?
Another level. It's crazy. Today is the first time in many years that I've had time to come out on my own, to really have fun. Not that I'm intending it, but to have fun. And I'm excited.
To give out to the 80s, but you dance sound of a god low rating. No snitch, no beat, but be it. So maybe got the African James, man for Moses. Fast forward to the 90s. Roots and black prophet and Abuli. Family school, we send from ticket for parties. General Marcus was gone and good banting. Fili move back up.
It's just me having fun. I actually came to watch one of my favorite, who is Abiana, and then yeah, proud to being on the show. I decided to also have fun.
Coming here to support Abiana, you also spoke about your EP coming out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
So it's an Atia EP. Besides the archives of Atia, and you're going to get just Atia on it. You're not getting any other song apart from Atia. So it's just me trying to be in different elements while I touch on different genres.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Let's go.
So I guess maybe I underestimated them. Yes, I underestimated them. They came, they stayed, and they're still there. Maybe they're waiting for me to come back on stage, but I underestimated them, and I'm so grateful for them.
Are we going to see something like this very soon again?
Yes, I'll replicate this concert like 3 times before the year ends. So if you're watching me, just follow Abiana Music and you get all the info on my page where I'll be the next concert. Follow me and let's have the vibe and get out of it.
Then what do you have to say to your fans, people who came to support you and everything?
I want to tell them that I'm so grateful. Abiana Music is so grateful. The brand is big, it's larger and in charge. It will go further than this, so trust me. If you follow me, you follow the good thing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Doreen, for the report. And we are just about wrapping up on this episode of E-Forum. Jeneral Ntatie is an actor. McDonald Nane Asare is an event organizer. Madina Social Welfare Assemblyman. Bullgod is an artist manager. He's the founder of House Entertainment. He says the CEO is God.
Future MP.
Future Boo, you want to be an MP?
No, I'm talking about Romeo.
Romeo.
It will be a future MP.
No,
and I've
Romeo
said it
should
before.
not.
Why?
That institution should be brought
down.
down.
I forgot that he said we should abolish it.
Yeah, I beg you. Then you want to become a future thief. We have seen, yes. You see, we will not allow that institution. We shouldn't, bro.
But I think where he is now, you are okay because he's with the decentralization in Ukraine. Local government.
Good.
He's an assemblyman.
What did you just say?
Local government.
Those are the people who are supposed to do the work.
But they don't give her the resources.
Exactly.
If I want to talk about
an MP,
if I want to have a full editorial, if I want to give a full editorial on the happenings within the municipality,
you should do that.
The whole Ghana will marvel. That's where the rot is, not the Jubilee House. That's where it begins. But when we ask for them to change all those appointees, they didn't mind.
Yeah, but you see, there's a connection there because
exactly.
The Jubilee House emboldens that kind of rot.
Exactly.
Because let me just quickly say this: when the president very recently went to I think the Ashanti region, later met the DCs about this Galamsey thing. There's something that he said, and for me, all of those things are very important. The president said something about how, as his representatives, if they continued or any of them engage in Galamsey, I said, I would not be able to protect you. What does that mean?
So it means they've always been protected.
Because at the point where we are fighting the thing, what I want to hear, for instance, is that if you engage in Galamsey, this will happen to you. I will do this. When you say, I would not be able to protect you, it betrays something.
I mean, there's been a protection
precisely
cover all along
from
all facets of the operations. So maybe for now, Galamsey is dangerous, but other things are also protected.
Everybody is watching.
Let's wrap up. I'm sure the conversation will continue. So Abdul Karim Ibrahim is a broadcast journalist with Class Media Group, formerly Radio Universe. He's an international debater. General, before we go, your show is on Saturday. Yeah. I want you to tell our viewers about it again. What the whole thing is about, how we can get tickets to buy, and how to find our way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this Saturday at the National Theatre, we are having a very beautiful show. And the title of this show is Are We Safe? Are we safe as people? Are we safe as what we do, the things that we do, the things that we engage in? Are we safe even as a country? So we want to ask a couple of questions. And so we are inviting you to come to the National Theatre. The first show is 4 p.m. The second show is 8 p.m. And then come and see beautiful actors like Clemento Suarez, Foster Romanus, Jeneral Ntatie, Daniel DeLong, Willie Chambers, and all the other guys that you see, around. We are going to entertain you. Make sure that your troubles, the pains, you know, the economy and how this thing.
So the rest of your lines.
Yes.
Also, be a stamina.
Just mama. Ain't you know? They make and say. Open so auto tikita. I didn't family so TV fly on the back. Na mama will say. Open so auto tikita is simple. And run so obedali. Star 447 star 1059 hash. Star 447 star 1059 hash. Bra uniadofo. Bra fire yari for bra. Enya for ebubu for. Eni fra for from Bra National Theatre. No major yarisa.
General. Charlie, thank you for coming. General Ntatie is an actor, like I mentioned earlier. Magdona Nania Asari, aka Romeo, is Medina social welfare, artist manager, event organizer, and Miss Ghana voice coach. And
you always forget I'm an actor too.
He's an actor. In fact, the name Romeo, he got it because of his stage production. Back then in University of Ghana, Oko play Romeo and Juliet. He played the role of Romeo.
In fact, Romeo. You know, Romeo was my classmate, and I'm shocked. It was so good, and I was like, when we complete, we'll still pick it up, and I don't see him like, hey.
Next time we'll have a conversation on why he doesn't want to be on stage.
Very good actor.
You need to be part of production. Bullgod is an artist manager. His newest product is Vanilla. And he's out with a song. Boo, how do we get a song to stream?
I mean, just go on all the DSPs, the distribution services platforms. You just type out Vanilla. You know, it's spelled Vanilla, but it's pronounced Vanilla. That's Vani as in short for Evans, and La means sing. So it's Vanilla in Ghana. You know, so just go out there, young chap, young talent, beautiful. Not him alone. We manage. Papi of 55 as well.
Okay. Wow.
They used to be a group,
but
now he's doing a solo project, so we're working with him as well. Go out there and support every Ghanaian music. You know, it's not because I'm managing them or not, but support the creatives. You know, we need it, and let's boot these niggas out.
In future, I think you have to consider managing actors as well. You know?
Yes, why not?
Let's open it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
All right, Karim, thanks for coming. We hope to do this some other time, and thank you for watching. We do this for you. I'm sure you enjoyed the show, and you've taken some, you know, the comment seriously, because Charlie, we for change things. Anyone more than me don't punch. Anyone more than I tarry. Thank you for watching. We'll be back some other time with yet another riveting conversation on eForum on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantipa.